Hello everyone. Today I will bring you an extremely useful book. In this book, we will point out 4 misconceptions about money. Someone has said that the concept of money will determine whether you are rich or poor. So what is your concept of money? Is it correct or not? Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, gives us a perspective that goes against our traditional views on money. It reminds us to avoid wrong thoughts about money and helps us to improve our investment ability, as well as develop our personal financial. Hopefully the book that I want to convey through today's video can help you to manage and develop your financial status. At the beginning of the book, the author introduces a story about Ronald Read, an American philanthropist. He lived a simple life in the suburb until passed away at the age of 92. Everything sounds very normal until it is known that his net worth is up to $8 million. Before he passed away, he prepared a will and used most of his assets for charity. People were extremely curious how he had such a large fortune, or if there was a dark secret behind it. But through investigation, it turned out there was no secret. He didn't win the lottery or do anything illegal, and he didn't inherit any property. The only thing he did was constantly accumulate the money he earned and use it for long-term investments. Another person named Richard Fusconi is a Master of Business Administration graduate from Harvard University. After graduating, he became a senior manager and was very successful in the financial industry, and he was able to retire early when he was only 40 years old. But after retiring for a few years, he borrowed a large amount of money from the bank to rebuild his villa. The villa was expanded with many amenities and luxurious furniture, more bathrooms, and up to 2 large swimming pools. This villa is also his entertainment and party venue. Just the monthly maintenance costs alone add up to $90,000. Not only that, he also lived a luxurious life when spending a lot of money to organize parties. But not long after, in 2008, the financial crisis broke out. In the blink of an eye, his assets were gone. Combined with large debts from banks and low liquid assets, he immediately went bankrupt. Through these 2 stories, we can get that saving money and accumulating assets is the best way to keep the positive movement of cash flow. No matter how much wealth you create, if you are too depraved in material life, it will never be enough and you will never see the end. Through the book, I would like to share with you 4 concepts about money that we should know as soon as possible. The very first mistake is that we are never satisfied with what we already have. In the book, there is a story about Jesse Livermore. In 1920, he was an extremely successful stock trader in the industry, quickly became one of the richest people in America. This made him become more and more confident and still want to succeed more. He borrowed a huge amount of money to invest in the stock market, but because of wrong judgment and calculation, in an instant he lost all the money he had. He fell into debt and eventually went bankrupt. At the same time, his married life also had many problems. His wife left, 2 crises came at the same time, causing him to end his life in his own home. There is another story of the previous chairman of the world's most famous consulting company, McKinsey & Company. Rajat Gupta had a huge fortune of about $1 billion. But with Rajat, he always wanted to be richer. Therefore, he had bad intentions. He wanted to use internal information to make profits in the stock market. But in the end, he was exposed and sentenced to 2 years in prison. Both his reputation and career were ruined at the same time. Human desire for money never stops. When we get something, we always want more. Our greed is limitless. This is human nature. It can stimulate our financial development, but if we use this nature to manage and make money, irrational behavior will arise, leading to unwanted outcomes. Besides, social comparison is also a catalyst that makes many people never feel satisfied. There will always be someone richer than you, making more money than you, having a bigger house than you, a nicer car than you. But the truth is that when you finally can own these things, you will feel that they are not that meaningful and it does not make you feel happy. In this life, we spend a lot of time working to have a higher income and better quality of life. But we must know that, to a certain extent, we must know enough. Knowing how is enough is a phrase that everyone has heard a lot, but not everyone really apply it in life. So what do we need to do? Please remember these following 4 things. First, we have to reduce comparisons. The second thing is to less chase trends. Third, do not care too much about what other people think about you. And finally, appreciate what you have. Awareing of these 4 things, we will find that receiving happiness is easy. The second mistake is that we do not have to spend money to gain the respect of others. The author gives a following psychological phenomenon. When you see someone driving a luxury car, You rarely think, wow, that person driving that car is really cool. Instead, you will think, wow, if I had that car, everyone would think I'm cool. Unconsciously or not, this is the way people think. No one is as impressed with your possessions as you are, so buying a lot of stuffs is not as cool as you think. You often want to have a beautiful house, a car, or an expensive item. Your real inner thought is that you want to have them to gain respect and admiration from others. In fact, we will never gain the respect of others through external material things, but from humility and empathy with everyone around us. Third, real wealth is what we cannot see. The author shares a story from his youth like this. The author's friend, Roger, was the same age but didn't know what to do. But when he was young, he owned a Mercedes. The author saw this with some admiration. But after a while, I saw him driving a Honda again.
Oh, okay.
When asked, he found out that he had not been able to pay the installments for several months, so the bank repossessed his Mercedes. This made the author have a completely different view of him and have deep thoughts about money. In America, a lot of people are like that. Most people often judge the financial success of others based on what they can see. Luxury cars, luxury photos on social networks. But these do not represent one's wealth. When we see a person driving a car worth $100,000, it means that their account has decreased by $100,000, or they are taking on a debt of $100,000 to pay off that car. We cannot know how much money they have in their bank accounts or how much money they use for investments. We cannot see other people's assets, so we automatically judge their financial success based on their external material things. But people are very good at imitating. Other people's excessive spending behaviors will secretly become something for you to imitate, and you will gradually think that successful people need to own such items. You must know that in this world, the truly rich people are the ones who live very simply. There are also people who look flashy on the outside, but they may be about to default or go bankrupt. If your goal is to strive to become like the people you see, living a rich and luxurious life with a flashy appearance, then stop and reflect immediately. The author said a great sentence like this: when someone says they want to become a millionaire, but what they really want is they want to spend $1 million instead of saving up $1 million. And there is a simple money philosophy we need to understand. Spending money to show off how much money you have is the fastest way to make yourself run out of money. Be rational in managing and using your own money. Fourth, wealth gives us freedom. Consumers often say, if you have a lot of money, you won't be able to take it away when you die, so there's no point in saving money. The author of this book advised us that we should change to a different mindset to look at this problem. Besides material things, freedom is what brings us the greatest benefit. Freedom gives us the power to control our own lives and time. A study from the University of Michigan has proven that the more choices people have, the easier it is to be happy. When you have the right to choose to arrange time with the person you like, to do the work you want, it will bring more happiness than buying a big house or climbing to a high position in the company. Saving money little by little, building it up to a level that helps you become financially independent. Money that you haven't used doesn't mean it's meaningless, but it gives you more choices in life and more flexibility in time. For example, if you save enough money for living expenses within a year, you have the right to be flexible about the time within a year. You will have plenty of time to really understand yourself and find a job that suits you, rather than doing a job that makes you frustrated all day long. The more money you accumulate, the more choices you will have. You can choose to work at a job that doesn't pay very well, but the job doesn't require you to work overtime or take a lot of time. In your free time, you can do the things you like, implementing things according to your own development plan. Use your money to buy time and choices in your own life, because very few material luxuries can bring a real happy and free life. Our lives, compared to previous generations, are now much richer. But according to research, up to 45% of people are unhappy and feel pressured. The main reason is because many of us just want to spend money to buy more expensive things. But that also means we have to give up the right to control time. For example, a person pays in installments for an item that is beyond his ability to pay, which means that during the installment period, he will tie himself to a certain job. He is forced to earn money to be able to pay for the item in installments, so this person will not have time to choose another life experience until the bank debt is paid off. In the book, the author also recommends another book named 30 Lessons for Living. The book interviewed 1,000 elderly people about their experiences in life, to summarize what the philosophy of life is. No one says that if you want to live happily, you must make an effort to earn money to buy the things you want. No one says that you must try to be equal to the people around you or have more money is considered success. No one says that if you have a lot of money, you will be happy. What they care about is being able to integrate with friends, become a member that brings some value to the group, and have time to spend with family. Finally, the author shares that after many years, his income increased a lot, but his way of life remained unchanged. The author, his wife, and children have a very ordinary house, an ordinary car, simple t-shirts, and delicious family dishes. Most of the joy in life comes from going for walks, reading books, and listening to podcasts. These pleasures don't have to cost a lot of money. Maybe this way of living is not suitable for many people, but we should find for ourselves a way of living where without material things, we can still find satisfaction in the soul. Like in this book, there is a saying, a real success is to withdraw from endless competition, adjust your life, and have a quiet soul. Above is what I want to share with you. Hopefully today's video will bring you a new perspective on the concept of money. If you feel this video is useful, please like and share it with people who need it. This is the biggest support for me. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button. Thank you very much, and see you again in the next videos.